are the economic development engine for everything east of San Antonio.
Since 2014, one of the goals of San Antonio for Growth on the East Side is to help carry out the vision of the East Side Promise Zone.
SAGE is an organization of action, right? Not words.
It's a 22 square mile part of East San Antonio that was identified as an underserved area in need of targeted funding and resources. It's one of many such promise zones around the country.
When the economy of a community rises, so does all of the collective shifts.
I'm Kristen Dean, and this is Commerce Street, a business podcast from KINS 5. In this episode, I spoke with Robert Melvin, CEO for San Antonio for Growth on the East Side, or SAGE. In our conversation, he talked about SAGE's involvement in the East Side Promise Zone, some early successes that led to enduring impact, and what comes next for his organization.
The East Side Promise Zone was a designation that was awarded to East San Antonio by the Department of Housing. The intent behind that designation was to revitalize an underserved community, providing them access to resources, better living conditions, as well as to act as an economic stimulus for the community. That was awarded in 2014 by then HUD Secretary Julian Castro, who was obviously our former mayor and a great San Antonio advocate. But it was in that designation that we were able to provide a tremendous amount of outreach and business support that was so severely needed and is still needed to this day.
How is your organization involved in the implementation of the East Side Promise Zone?
So SAGE became the community liaison for the East Side Promise Zone program. And in doing so, we were able to cultivate and develop programs such as the back office program that provides back office support to over 120 or so small businesses that are able to focus on what that business does versus the complexities that surround running a business. So it becomes a help in hand in understanding how to function as a business. And so that was a program that was created, and it really spread like wildfire. And we've seen tremendous success to this point with respect to our abilities to touch the small business community in a way that is impactful, that is actually changing their bottom line. So our role in that regard is to ensure that we are propping up our small business community in a way that allows for them to continue to grow and thrive. The role that SAGE plays is multifaceted. We are the economic development engine for everything east of San Antonio. We work very closely with Greater SATX and the city in understanding what our assets are on the east side. So understanding what our business community needs, now we have the ability to provide the solutions to those problems or those pain points in a way that's meaningful, but it's also impactful within the community. So if there's an opportunity for B2B relationships, and that's business to business interactions or gain, then we've provided that platform for the market to do what the market does, right? We select the best to engage in economic transactions and opportunities.
And was that a surprise to you that those programs caught on so quickly, caught on like wildfire, as you said?
Quite honestly, no. The needs of our disadvantaged communities within the city of San Antonio, it spreads far and wide. The role of organizations such as SAGE become critical components to addressing those needs with our boots on the ground mentality. SAGE is an organization of action, right? Not words. That's one of our mantras that we continue to say, because it's important that we keep our eyes on what is most important, and that is the growth and vitality of everything east of San Antonio.
What are some challenges you faced, some difficulties or struggles you've had in implementing, if you have had any, of course?
Oh, we're a nonprofit, so yeah, we always have challenges. The number one challenge is raising the capital in order to be able to facilitate these programs that are so critical to our community. We stand up, I didn't expect to go into the numbers, but a lot of nonprofits as well as for-profits by assisting them with our professional services. That becomes a piece of that solution that we can't get away from. We have to raise the capital, and we have to bring awareness to this need of everything that extends east of San Antonio. That becomes our number one challenge.
Do you have any specific examples or specific maybe success stories of some organizations that have benefited from your involvement?
Absolutely. Off the top of my head, Carlos Plumbing. It was they refer to themselves as a mom and pop, plumbing company. We've assisted them and watched them grow to the point that now they're operating in multiple cities, not just San Antonio. Royal Custom Painting is another. This is a trade. We've watched him, we've worked with him, got him on his own, and now he's doing extremely successful. We have given out over the course of the Promise Zone program well over $1 million, $1.5 million in storefront grants, providing, the beautification of our business, right? We all know that first impression of any business is what does that curb appeal look like? And so we're able to provide that level of support in collaboration with the city to ensure that we have an aesthetic that is inviting, and it becomes a synergistic kind of rollout, because now other businesses are now buying in. They understand that there's assistance and help out there. And that's why when I say it's spread like wildfire, that one success story multiplies into several. And that is the number one goal, right? If we are supporting business, I want to see you grow, right? DC Electric, VR Brothers Mechanical. I mean, these are small businesses that are now, and I'm proud to say, they're operating in multiple cities between here and the Rio Grande Valley, because those communities need that level of attention, and to watch them foster and grow that's why I'm here.
What does the future look like for Sage? What is the future of Sage's involvement with the community and implementation of federally funded programs?
Oh, that's a great question, and thank you for allowing for us to really engage in where our goals are headed. Right now, we are retooling to be able to engage in the economic development arm of our business in the retention, expansion, and recruitment of businesses that need to be placed here in the city of San Antonio. When the economy of a community rises, so does all of the collective shifts. And so it's very important for us that we focus on not just the small business, but also the big business, and understanding how we can marry the two for the overall benefit of the community. And so, we operate under the auspice of a three-legged stool, right? You have to have commerce, right? Which is our business entity. They need employees. So that's the people that we have to ensure that they are tooled up and they are prepared to take on these jobs. So that requires financial literacy, that requires access to healthcare, that requires closing the digital divide, that requires for us to appreciate that in order for a community to advance, we need to understand where the deficits lie. Once we understand that, we then can assist them in supporting the business community through the jobs and the like. The collective of those two bring about this holistic idea of community, right? And that community is comprised of individuals who are supporting whatever business clusters that we're able to bring to the table. They're supporting their own business modeling that allows for it to continue to feed the community. And so Sage's role in that is acting as that conduit to ensure that the social services arm is needed, that is needed is met. Looking at what are the needs from the technology standpoint when we look at the community. What about our kids, right? What is the pain point that would allow for them to advance, right? And what are those limitations, and how can we act in our capacity to make sure that we're removing all roadblocks to see this community flourish and thrive as it has historically. But we are facing some severe challenges, right? Being able to reach out and finding equity. It's a word that is used quite often, but bringing equity to the east of San Antonio is critical. It's critical for the very survival of the city. East San Antonio represents the rich, cultural, diverse tapestry that we know to be San Antonio. And in order for us to preserve that, it requires intentionality. We have to be intentional about the businesses that we pursue. We have to be intentional about the investments that we're placing in our small businesses. We have to be intentional about the support that we're providing in programs such as the back office program, such as the storefront grant. We have to be intentional. And so Sage is here to ensure that those voices are not overlooked, right? We're here to ensure that our community is represented. And we're here to make sure that our businesses have all that they need to thrive. And so Eastside is Eastside Strong for a reason. They've endured a lot, and we still emerge victorious. So it's with great pride that we are having our 10th annual Taste the Dream Gala, right? That's March 19th at Redberry Estates. It is a celebration for the hard work that the community has been doing over the last year. It is a recognition of the work that still needs to be done and the resources that are required for us to get there. So I encourage everybody to go to www.sagesa.org, and our gala information is there.
While Sage looks to the future, they hope to honor the past.
The African-American story in the city of San Antonio is one that is extremely rich and vibrant. That there was an entire economy that existed in Sunset Station. And so Sage is paying homage to those businesses that really carved out a piece of pie on the other side of the tracks. And we're celebrating that with historical markers that are talking about the amazing businessmen and businesswomen that engaged in commerce here in our city. And so when we talk about the need, our need goes directly into the hands of the people that need it the most. Sage is not a Black organization. We're not a Hispanic organization. We're not a white organization. We are an organization of the people of San Antonio. And for those businesses that are located on the east side, we will provide help. If you are a Black business, we will provide help. We're not providing special help because it's Black History Month. We don't change what we do because of the day or the time. We are here to make sure that our business communities are thriving. If you're located within East San Antonio, you need to give us a call.
Is there anything else that you want the public to know or to understand about your organization or the work that you're doing?
The biggest thing for the public to understand is that in order for us as a community to rise, we have to look at and care for the most vulnerable among us. And that requires for us to be honest, to be willing to have an open dialogue about what our needs are from a collective city standpoint, and then bringing the appropriate partners together that can solve for that problem, bringing the minds together so that we can solve for the problem. I think that the city, the mayor, the council, I believe that their heart is in the right place. Their energies are tied directly to their constituents. And it's just a matter of sometimes we have to focus on a pain point in a way that we haven't in the past. I'm here, my organization is here. We will continue to do the work for the people of San Antonio, and in particular, East San Antonio. And that includes Southeast, Northeast, East San Antonio. So, that really is the messaging that we need to get out there.
You can learn more about Sage and find a link to their organization and upcoming gala fundraiser on kins5.com. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Commerce Street. For more episodes like this one, search Commerce Street on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. This is Kristen Dean with KINS 5 Eyewitness News.